what is the correct amount of increase that I should expect this year in my sales? That's what I get asked all the time. And that's what we're going to talk about today in this video. So I get asked all the time, what is the right kind of increase to expect this year? Well, we really need to answer a few things before we're going to be able to identify what the increase is. And unfortunately, a lot of organizations throw a 10% increase out there, right? Just a generic 10%. Doesn't make sense. Why would we just do 10%? What's the market conditions? Are we heading into a recession? Should it be more? Well, we really need to understand what the environment's doing before we can just throw out just an arbitrary number. And for those in purchasing, they're constantly told, hey, we got to get 3% year over year savings. Well, that doesn't make sense either. Why do organizations do that? Why are we just expecting these random numbers to be what we need? Well, we need to really understand the markets, like I said. So we need to understand what's going on in our economy. So different parts of the world, the economy is doing better than others. Some places are in recessions. Some places did better to recover faster after, like the pandemic, for instance. So we really need to understand what's going on. We also need to understand what markets that we're in and what's typically been happening. Let's go back and look back a little bit just to get some data points of what happened in the past for sales in the whole industry. Because if the industry is only going to increase 2%, well, a 10% or 20% increase may not be the number. Now, if we're in a new blue ocean where we have a product out there that no one's ever seen before, it's kind of hard to guide that, but we can kind of see what's been going on with labor forces and whatnot, and we have an understanding. So we got to do some studying before we just throw out some numbers. Unfortunately, a lot of organizations do that. They throw out some just generic numbers that don't work. And then they tie the bonuses to those numbers, which unfortunately piss off a lot of salespeople. So if we're going to have an increase, let's as a leadership team really understand what the right kind of growth is before we throw out some kind of numbers. Okay? We talk about all this, but we really haven't hit on what's the profitability. That's right. A lot of organizations focus on what's our sales growth. We want that sales growth to happen. Well, unfortunately, sometimes our costs go up as well. We need to really work hand in hand with operations and our manufacturing plants and our sales teams to collaborate on what that number should be, not just throw out a number that we need to increase sales from here to here, and that's going to finish everything. Now, we really understand what our profitability is first and set a profitability goal, not just a revenue increase. We need to understand how to get our costs down together. We also need to understand how we can increase our sales if we need to, but how can we maximize our customer base? What other products do we offer that can go hand in hand with other products that are already being bought by our customers? Well, we need to really look at that. We need to pull open that file cabinet of our customers to see what they've been buying to see what we can do. So as a sales team, we should be going through annually, looking at what our sales has happened with all of our customers, seeing what they bought from us, and look at partnership ability, study if we can increase growth with them too. What other products could they buy? Because if we have a true partnership, and I know a lot of organizations, a lot of purchasing organizations say they want to have a partnership with us as long as it's one-sided. Yeah, been in some of those kind of instances where they don't really work, okay? We need to really have partnerships where it is that the customer will buy everything that we have to offer. We're just about everything that we have to offer. If we want to maximize profits, we don't need to have more customers and we don't need to just sell more stuff. We really need to go understand what's at stake. What's our profitability? Because at the end of the day, our profitability is what really matters. Not revenues, but profitability. So as a leadership team, we really need to understand what our profitability is and really deep dive into that before we go set all these generic numbers. Because generic numbers, they do not work. So we need to understand that. And I got to tell you, when we just throw out these generic numbers and don't define why we think they should happen, our sales team and all the operations teams, they tend to tune out and they just kind of go with it. And when we tie them to our bonuses, sometimes we're not going to make any profit because people are just going to be disengaged and they're not going to make more revenues. So we need to be cognizant of what we're selling, how much we're selling, what our costs are, our profitability, and if we really need to understand if we need to get rid of some customers or find some new customers, or if we need to jump into a new market that we haven't tapped because we have some new products coming along. So all of that goes into deciding what it is that we are going to set for our sales revenue targets. Okay? Now, if you have any more questions about that, I've got a whole bunch of information in the description that will help you get in touch with me and some of my trainings that I'd be glad to help you with. But I'm not just here to sell, I'm actually here to help the organizations. So if I have a solution that doesn't work for you, I'm going to put you in touch with somebody that will. That's my promise to you, okay? I'm here to help you succeed. We'll see you next time.